is the last time you played outside with your friends?
Beyond the Ropes is a really cool documentary about this small double dutch movement that just blew up and spread like wildfire and became such an important uh, community for these women, such an important safe space for them to go and just play double dutch and be with friends and be with a community and a found family. So that was really cool to see. Um, I thought that the structure of this documentary was done really well in the different chapters. So a solid structure there. The energy of this film is palpable. You can just feel the enthusiasm and the passion and the love for this sport. Um, I liked how they showed how this sport can be such a great outlet for these women, and how therapeutic it can become for them. Um, and I appreciated that they included faith in this as well because it was such an important part of these women's lives, and a lot of documentaries shy away from that sort of thing. So I thought it was cool and very personal to show that in this film, um, and just to see the spread of this sport and how it has positively affected so many families and women, um, just from this small group of friends in the beginning who needed an outlet, just to focus on having fun and being with friends. So I thought that overall this was a really cool film, and a really cool way to see how sports and community can be therapeutic and can help out in times of turmoil. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film.
Beyond the Ropes was very cute. Um, I loved seeing and hearing the journey of all of these women who were coming from a very dark place, finding a community in reliving and re experiencing the joys of something that they once found comfort in as children. Uh, I believe that they took a lot of the trauma, a lot of the hardships that they had been facing, and they turned it around and created a very healthy and proactive community from it. And I find that extremely heartwarming. Um, I loved hearing how this story came to be, and I very much hope nothing but the best for this community, and I hope it continues to grow.
As someone that enjoyed jump rope when I was younger, I really enjoyed this documentary. I didn't even know that there could be competitive events for adults to do jump rope professionally or like even semi professionally in an organized way. So it was really interesting to hear about that, and also really inspiring to see these women coming together over a shared passion and being able to jump together in a skipping rope. And I just thought it was really, really cool, really inspiring. The storytelling is great. It does a great job of showcasing the characters' stories and their lives in and outside of skipping. And it ends on such an inspiring note. I highly recommend it.
I thought this was a really fascinating story. The idea to be able to bring something from your childhood into the now and really make a great go at it is something I think a lot of adults can relate to. And they do it here so well. And as a documentary, it's presented really well. It's edited very thoughtfully. But what was occurring to me as I watched it is that this would actually make a great feature film. It just has all the right elements. It feels like the kind of story maybe we've seen before, but it definitely has some of its own unique, interesting touches that would make it stand out. I mean, obviously, being a sports documentary or when you're talking about sports, there's a lot of obvious parallels to film sports films. So those notwithstanding, I think this one is just ripe for the feature film world right now. But all that aside, as a documentary, I thought it was really enjoyable. It was great to hear from all the people involved in this double Dutch movement. I thought they were absolutely just beautiful in their presentation, and everything just really came together well in this one. I, as someone who's not necessarily into jump rope at all, was thoroughly delighted by this one. So great work.
This was such an amazing documentary. It was so joyful and light and, brought a lot of attention to a sport I haven't particularly heard of. It was just so fun and it was well edited, and kudos to the team for, the structure of the doc. I think it was really laid out well and everything flowed really nicely. Yeah, it's a topic that is so interesting to me, and I didn't really know this was a sport at all, and so for amateurs or newbies like myself it was well explained, but I'm sure for people who are familiar with the sport everything would seem really familiar to them. So yeah, this was a real joy to watch, and it was just such a good time.
I really enjoyed Beyond the Ropes. I think it was edited really well, and I think it was a great story about Pam and bringing her love for double dutch as a child and the love for that into adulthood, and finding community with that, and finding a real purpose in her life and in her ministry of bringing these women together in, an activity that keeps them young, keeps them youthful. It has great health benefits, and it's just overall a really good time. I think you told her story incredibly well. It was incredibly uplifting to watch. And I think as far as sports go, double dutch doesn't really get a lot of recognition. I'm trying to think of the last large piece of media that I watched with it, and it had to be Jump In with Corbin Blue and Kiki Palmer, and that had to be in 2008. So I'm really grateful that this story is being told and bringing light to this this activity, this sport that has brought so many people joy over the years and is continuing to with Pam and her work. So I think that's really great. I think it's a really great story, and it was put together very, very well, edited together very well, storyboarding done very well, very clear, communicative, and just very well done.
Pam has tremendous faith to the point where I could feel it through the screen. Her love for God and everything he's done for her with this double Dutch rope. I know I'm probably part of the last generation that was out riding bikes, jumping rope, and doing all that, because I don't really see kids outside doing that anymore, so she's right on that. The fact that she says this club's for 40 plus is amazing, because she doesn't look like she's 40, and neither do a lot of the women in her club. So maybe it means fitness keeps you young. She's amazing, and I think she's right that she's doing God's work on this earth by listening to his call to bring women together in a sisterhood for something that a lot of girls enjoyed when they were young. I personally could never do double dutch. I'd usually fall. But the women who could, the girls who could, now the women are finding something that they used to enjoy and finding love in it again. And Pam is the instrument in that. She's bringing it together, and she knows exactly who to thank for being that instrument. But she decided to use double dutch to unify women and bring them together, like she said, in fellowship. She's bringing women together in fellowship, unity, and fun through athletics, through something everybody used to enjoy, to bring back a little bit of childhood, which is probably keeping them looking young and feeling young, because it's a few moments out of a day where they don't have to worry about the stress of life. They can just be. And this is how most of humanity should be, is put things aside and just have fun for just a little bit. So I enjoyed hearing about Pam's story because it really touched my soul.